Guys, it's been a long time coming, but it's here. My Godzilla vs. Kong review. I meant to post this a long time ago, but that obviously didn't happen. So, in this video, I will talk about why this film is freaking awesome. I gotta say, I love this movie. It is, first of all, a great versus movie. I think they could have done they could have made it way more clear that Godzilla won. Oh yeah, I forgot to say there's spoilers in this. And I wanted to see more of Godzilla, of course, but it's a really good versus movie. Like, the fights are really entertaining, and there's payoff, and they're everything you want to see from the fights in this movie. Something that's also great about this movie is how it is a great homage to the campier and the older Godzilla movies, with the fantastic score being brought back and a new era for Kong. It also really builds on the world of the MonsterVerse really well. And I like how the tone of this movie, how it goes from the tone in Godzilla King of the Monsters being really dark and as gritty and realistic as this franchise could get, to really bright, stupid, and just dumb fun, which is this movie. One thing I didn't like, which there are very few things that I didn't like, is how they really skip over the events of the last Godzilla movie and pay no attention to the aftermath, but they probably will in future installments. Something that, on a brighter note, that I loved about this movie is that there's finally a blockbuster, finally a movie that just wants to be a movie. That's a movie to be a movie. That is an actual blockbuster, the kind of blockbusters were made to be. This movie isn't really meta, but it knows it's stupid, and it has a distinct personality and voice different from many modern blockbusters. This movie doesn't try to be dark and gritty. It doesn't try to be grounded, but it doesn't try to justify that. It feels like how B-movies, how blockbusters were originally, what they were originally intended for. Entertainment, pure entertainment. This movie goes a little too far with its idea of being dumb in some points, but overall it's great. Because movies originally, blockbusters, I'm thinking of like the 80s, the 90s, the best of the early 2000s. They were all made for the purpose of entertainment, and people loved them. They were summer blockbusters. You always had these really artsy, Oscar-winning, thought-provoking films later in the year, but then earlier in the year you had just lots of fun. These movies are just fun, and Godzilla vs. Kong is the first movie of its kind to be really fun in years. And recently, this year, there's been a lot of movies for the audiences, a lot of movies that are really fun for the sake of being fun. Though this movie is really fun, there are definitely some underwhelming parts of it and things that they don't pay a lot of attention to. Like, this movie does everything it needs to do, just enough to be a good, passable movie. Have enough plot, have enough character, have the slightest bit of theme, have at least some kind of reason for all of this happening. It does it all to its least extreme. And I really like the plot of this movie. Like I said, the human characters are really weak and are just there for no reason to explore the world. They're building on the world of the MonsterVerse in this movie, and giving these its two main monsters, little kings, learning things about them that you didn't know before. I really like the plot of this movie, like I literally just said. It's something that I would totally do, because I've made 3 Godzilla films on my channel a long time ago, 2 of them unposted, and 2 Kong films, one of them's on my channel, and they have these really outlandish plots, the kind of plot that this movie has, and I think it's put together well enough, and it's smooth, where Godzilla's attacking, trying to hunt down apex slabs, and they have to bring Kong, they have to transform him, and then Godzilla attacks the ship. That's great setup. Overall, I loved this movie. I think it was great. I hate saying what other people say, but there's not too much to say about this movie that hasn't already been said. this movie is pure fun, and it was a joy to watch. Also, the Mechagodzilla battle at the end was amazing, by the way. There's tons of fan service for fans of this universe, and I would like to see where they go next with this franchise, because each of their films have a distinct tone and style. And like I said, I'm interested to see where they go next. Overall, I really like this movie. I give it an 8.0 out of 10.